Welcome back to Effing Interesting Things. Today, we're tackling something you do every single day, but probably never thought about: driving. Or more specifically, why some countries drive on the left side of the road while others drive on the right. It sounds random, right? But there's actually a fascinating story behind it. A story of knights, Napoleon, colonial empires, and even horse poop. Yeah, buckle up. The origins, left is right. Let's go back in time. Way before cars, imagine medieval Europe. Roads are filled with people on foot, on horses, or in carriages. Now, most people were right-handed, so if you were on horseback, you wanted your right hand free, to wave, to greet, or to fight with a sword if someone attacked. That meant you naturally rode on the left side of the road, so your sword arm faced oncoming traffic. So for centuries, left was the norm. In fact, in 1300, Pope Boniface VIII even declared that pilgrims heading to Rome should stick to the left. So left was not just common sense, it was law. But then along comes Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was left-handed, and when he rose to power in the late 1700s, he flipped the system. He made his armies march on the right side of the road. Why? Because it gave his left-handed sword arm the advantage. And when Napoleon conquered large parts of Europe, he spread that rule everywhere. That's why countries he invaded, like Italy, Spain, Germany, drive on the right today. Meanwhile, countries that resisted Napoleon's influence, like Britain, kept driving on the left. So yes, whether you drive on the left or the right can be traced back to one French guy with a short temper and a big ego. The colonial domino effect. But it didn't stop there. When Britain built its empire, it exported left-hand driving to its colonies: India, Australia, South Africa, and of course, Mauritius. That's why so many former British territories still drive on the left. On the flip side, Napoleon's influence spread right-hand driving across continental Europe. Later, the French exported it to their colonies in Africa and the Caribbean. So what started as a medieval sword habit turned into a colonial domino effect that shapes traffic laws today. But what about the United States? In the early days, Americans used large freight wagons pulled by teams of horses. Drivers sat on the left rear horse so they could use their right hand to whip the team. From that position, it made sense to keep to the right side of the road so oncoming traffic passed on the driver's left. So America chose the right. And once America chose, the world noticed. Now, here's where it gets hilarious. Some countries actually switched sides. Sweden, for example, used to drive on the left. But in 1967, they switched to the right overnight. Literally, overnight. It was called Dagen H, short for Högertrafikomläggningen, or the right-hand traffic diversion. At 4:50 a.m., all traffic stopped. 10 minutes later, at 5 a.m., everyone carefully moved to the other side of the road and kept driving. Imagine the chaos. But it worked. Within hours, Sweden was officially a right-hand driving country. The numbers today. So where are we now? About 65% of the world's population drives on the right. That includes the US, China, and most of Europe. The remaining 35% drive on the left. Mostly countries that were once part of the British Empire, like India, Australia, New Zealand, Japan. So the next time you land in a new country and have to remind yourself, wrong side, you're really just stepping into centuries of history. So why do some countries drive on the left and some on the right? Because of knights with swords, because of Napoleon's left hand, because of colonialism, horse-drawn wagons, and a few countries brave enough to flip the switch. It's not random, it's history written into asphalt. And now you know. That's it for this episode of Effing Interesting Things. If you liked this story, hit follow, share it with your friends, and remember, whichever side of the road you drive on, always stay on the safe side.